Yeah, we just we got to get back to work. There's no excuses around here. As you build this, you go through some tough times, and we had a tough month of January, close but not good enough, and we got to get right. We got to get right and keep moving forward, and got to use all this as fuel to get better, and that's where we're at. And we're in an unforgiving league conference, and you just gotta you know you gotta put your big boy pants on and go to work and get after it, and that's what we're trying to do.
Mike?
Sorry. Test, we got it. Can you speak to the importance of leadership at this point, and where is your leadership coming from? You have a bunch of veteran players who have been through a lot. Who are the guys who are kind of stepping up?
Yeah, you know, and that, you know that you need number one is you got to show up every day and just get to work. You know, as disappointing you may be after of your play or your team's play, yeah, you know, I say to our staff and our team all the time, you got to wake up and you got to go to work, and that's the only way you change it. You know, our seniors have been through a bunch here and other places, and they gotta step up and help each other, help yourself by showing up ready to go to work and helping each other. And you know, when you have you know, some disappointing moments or moments you wish you had back, and you know, you gotta even as an older player in a program, you still got to learn from it and use it to fuel you to get better, because that's what it's always about. So yeah, our seniors got to continue to step up and lead, and even lead better. The coaches got to help these guys understand how to lead the right way. I mean, that's an evolving, always working on task, without a doubt. Even when you're winning, you're still trying to help guys pull each other along all the time.
Is there any value in looking back to times this season when you guys have played some of your best basketball? Purdue is specifically one of them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Purdue, Nate, is the standard, right? That game was the standard where we really dictated the game. We put our mark, our stamp on the game, without a doubt. And we've had moments like that throughout January, but not enough to sustain it to win consistently. And that's, as a coach and players, that's the frustrating part. I mean, that's competition. But though, you know, we've used that. We've used some really good basketball throughout the year, even some really good basketball at moments during January, to say this is what we're capable of. But you got to do it at a consistent level to win in this conference, and we're not. And but yeah, we have, you know, you use everything. You use the good, the bad, the days you're playing and practicing at a high level, because you always say that's the standard you want to be at all the time. Now, human nature is you're not always at your highest, but you're always shooting for that. And those moments you can definitely use as a teaching tool, without a doubt.
Mike, what gives you the confidence that you guys are in a position to, you know, get out of this skid and close the season strong?
I think we're capable, right? I think we've showed signs, even in January where we had some tough stretches. We showed signs, you know, and I hate to say it, oh, we're close, because, you know, at times the score was close, or it's a one-possession game, whatever. Even when we weren't playing great, the fight we had and our style of play gave us opportunities to stay connected to the game and have a chance to win it. That part, like, we all see that. It's just, you know, and you know, we were playing very efficiently early on, and even the Purdue game is an example and all that, and then we hit January, and you know, all seasons are up and down. We just we haven't been at that consistent. You know, I thought a lot of basketball in January we were beating ourselves. Turnovers at our defense are rebounding, and I think that's stuff you can control at times by your approach. And you know, that's the stuff that keeps you up at night as a coach. The other side of it is we, you know, there's moments where our guys are playing the right way, doing things the right way, and having success. We're just not sustaining it to a level where you know, you're winning Big Ten games at a consistent level, and that's what really hurt us in January.
Coach, now that you're through the month of January, what expectations do you have for these last 9 games of the regular season, and what are you looking for from your players?
Yeah, get better. There's a lot of basketball left, and there's we have some, we're thin here a little bit with some injuries, but just continue to get better. We need guys to step up. We need guys to step up in the moment of competition. We need guys to step up, getting better in practice. And I thought we had a good practice yesterday, and the mindset was right. It's just when you when you get hit in the chin a few times, it puts you on your heels, and that's just not how I want my teams to play. And I don't care what the word people use, fragile or not consistent, whatever. Like it's about, you got to move forward. And sometimes as you build a program where you have expectations of a program and they're not going the way you want, that's when you just got to really stick together. And there's moments in the Ohio State game that were pretty good, but there's a lot of moments in this isn't us. This isn't the team you've been watching, and that happens over a long course of a season. But as a coaching staff and as a program, you gotta push through that together and fight through it to find a way to get on. Let's win the next game. Let's have a great practice today so we're prepared to win the game tomorrow against a good Minnesota team. And then you never know what happens. In this league, what I'm learning in this league is, you win one, you're hot. You win two, you're the hottest team in the league. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. And let's not overstep. Let's be in the moment right now and just try to get better. And if we get better, we have a chance. And that's what you want to give yourself.
Mason?
Yeah, on Sunday on Saturday in the team meeting that I had with him, with the team, I commended him about just his approach during January. I think this is the best basketball he's played for us since he's been here at Penn State, and that's what seniors do. I'm super proud of him. I just think he just keeps maturing, and everybody takes a big step in their career at different times, and he's done that, and I'm really proud of him, and we need that the rest of February and March for him, by him, and really proud of him. I agree with you. I think his offense has really improved. He's seen the game differently. I think his defense and his toughness finding the ball has really given us a lift, and we need other guys to step up like him, but really proud of DeMarco, and says a lot about his senior here coming down the stretch and playing the best basketball of his career.
Freddie saw less minutes Thursday night. Is he okay? I guess.
Yeah, he wasn't right. He wasn't the Freddie we need him to be, and we had to find different ways to stay connected to the game and give us a chance. And I thought he had a really good practice yesterday, and has handled it the right way. Handled it like a mature kid. And then that's part. Even though he's a sophomore, he didn't play much for a year and a half, and then we expect a lot of him, and that's still a tall task for anybody. And there's still a level of change and a level of adjustment for any guy playing at this level, and he's one of them. And when he's playing aggressively and at a high level, we're a better team, and that's what we need from him down the stretch as well. And I thought he responded from the other night, yesterday in practice, the right way, and I'm going to challenge him again today moving forward. He wants it so bad, but there's a price you got to pay, and there's a way you got to go about it, and the part of it is learning that, and especially when you're counted on, and he's got to continue to keep maturing, and we got his back, like I tell all our guys, and when we expect a lot of you got to show up every day, and he didn't play well enough to impact us enough, and he will, because you've seen that from him. Getting a level of consistency is the key from him.
Sorry, Nate.
No, it's fine.
What challenges does Dawson Garcia present, and how much does it hurt not having Puff, because it seems like he's a logical defender there?
Yeah, that's a natural matchup for us if we had Puff, and you all see we miss Puff in so many different areas, just his maturity, his teammanship, as I call it, and the way he approaches everything on the daily. We're missing that without a doubt, and I think Puff has, all year long was just playing the right way and playing winning basketball. And we've suffered not having him out there, but his health is of the utmost importance to us. And but he could guard Garcia in different ways because of his size and his strength, and he guards guys that can go inside, outside like himself pretty well. So yeah, that's a challenge, but it's the next man up. We have other guys who are going to have to guard him and got to make it really hard for him. One thing I think that he's done lately is score in so many different ways, all three levels, and in transition and getting to the foul line. We just got to make it really hard for him early in the possessions and early in the game of not getting going and getting that confidence and becoming such a threat at all three levels.
Mike, it's looking ahead a little bit, but we won't talk to you in this setting before then about the West Coast swing coming up this weekend. What are the logistical plans for you guys going out there, and what are your sort of expectations of having that kind of experience?
Well, we're going to go out Thursday. We'll go out Thursday. We'll practice out there, and then we're there for 5 days. I mean, that's just how it goes, and it's about winning the next game. And we got to make sure we take a mature approach of having fresh minds and fresh bodies. That's always really important this time of year, all the time, but especially when you travel, because this is new to us. When you go out that way and talking to other coaches and all that stuff, you want to make sure you're fresh when you get out there, and then getting back quick to be fresh going into your next game after 2 games on the road on the West Coast swing. So number one is getting out there and getting acclimated and settling in, and then number 2 is making sure we're doing what we're supposed to do, be ready to win the game, and then go from there. And then being smart, getting back, getting our guys rested to be ready to win coming out of that trip. So some coaches have said how tough it is and stuff like that. If you make excuses, they're built in. You can't make excuses, So I always say these guys in AAU have traveled all over the country since they're 8, 9, 10 years old, and played 3 games in 1 day, or 5 games in 2 days, and then travel back and all that. So they've been through that before. It's a little different. Maybe the pace is a little different, but you figure it out, and can't make excuses.
You don't really have a choice with Miles. He has to play. But I'm wondering about Ja and Dom in terms of the balance for you, figuring out when to just throw them into the fire a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, those are the discussions we have all the time, and so we have upperclassmen that they're playing behind that when we're hitting on all cylinders, we're pretty good, but we're not. So that's when that stuff comes into play, and coming down the stretch here, looking at some things differently that way. They got to practice well. Got to practice well and be prepared, and there are definitely options.
Mike, you guys get to play at Pauley Pavilion on Saturday. Just being in the new Big Ten, what's it going to be like playing there, and how is it different from playing at other historical venues that you guys have played through this season or last?
Yeah, I mean, it's just something if you follow college basketball all your life, that's always been a place people talk about as an historic place, and such an honor to go there and play. So we got a lot of work before then, but it's another thing you can check off your list about what a cool opportunity for our guys to go all the way to the West Coast, to be in LA and play 2 games out there, one place being Pauley Pavilion. So I think every college basketball player and coach, you get opportunities to go to certain arenas, it's on the checklist. It'd be pretty cool, and we get to go to Pauley Pavilion, so really neat.
Coach, in that Ohio State game, their guards kind of got going offensively really early. Do you think, what would you kind of attribute that to, and what do you expect from your guards?
Yeah, we're not ready to guard at the point of attack, and that's got to be one of our strengths. And there's some games this year where we did that at a high clip, at a high level, not just 1 or 2 guys, but multiple guys, and that has hurt us here of late, of letting some guards get going early. And you gotta you got to guard the ball at a point of attack and keep it in front, and then you got to be, and if you do that, it allows you to limit threes, and we're not doing that at a good enough rate to win games. And that was an example, probably the worst of the year, where we let 2 guards get going, and to an extent of now you're in rotation and you're scrambling all the time. It gives up guys opportunities to get loose, and that's what happened. And we got to guard the ball better. We're working on it. It's got to be a huge emphasis the rest of the way. Like point of attack, we got to be aggressive. We want to dictate how the other team's going to score, and we're not doing that at a high enough clip.
Coach, just going back to Dom, with you had the 7-minute stretch against Ohio State, 3 fouls, but he was still playing aggressive. You were just talking about that. How do you kind of coach him, to try to stay away from some of those sloppy fouls?
It's typical freshman, right? Typical. You want them to play so hard the way you want to play with great discipline, and I loved how aggressive he was as soon as he got in the game, and he's trying to give us something. I love it. I mean, I've been super proud of him all year long. Look, he's playing behind some seniors, and the fact is, we're not playing so well. Why don't you give him a chance? Yeah, I totally get that, and but he's been practicing his butt off. He's been coachable, and his aggressiveness and how he could fly around. Hey, can give us a lift. I think he's going to have a bright future for us. I'm excited how hard he's working. I'm excited what he's trying to do, his approach. Typical freshman, he doesn't know what he doesn't know. We can continue to help him and coach him up with that. An example of that is 3 fouls and stuff we've been talking about him all year long, but I remember being a freshman getting hand check fouls all the time, thinking I didn't foul. Then you watch the tape and realize, man, that's a foul. It's an obvious foul. Those are the things we just got to work on. Fouling 3-point shooters, it's the biggest no-no in college basketball. I mean, it really is. But my son did it the other day when they played at E-Town. Coach's son. He ran right through the guy. The guy was shooting a 3-point, and I'm like, what are you doing, kid? You've been around basketball your whole life. And you just got to continue to work with these guys, hold them to a high standard. And Dom's going to be a really good player for us. I'm super excited about him. And I love the energy he had coming in the game, just a little bit more discipline.
Last question.
Coach Yannick was kind of limited with his minutes the past couple games prior to that Ohio State game. He managed to stay out of foul trouble and ended with 21 points. What did you like about his aggressiveness, and how can you keep that going?
Yeah, I thought he played with a clear mind. The one thing about Yannick all year long, he's been so coachable. Maybe one of the most coachable kids in the first year with me that I've ever been around. And I say that like he has an edge. He wants to play. He wants to be really good, but he acts like he's still trying to make the team, and he wants to please the coaches, and it's refreshing. And so I think he keeps getting better, and he really takes it personal when he doesn't play well or the team needs more from him, and that's why I think he has a great drive to continue to get better. I think he's still scratching the surface of the player he's going to be now, as we move along down the road. I thought in the Ohio State game he was very aggressive around the basket, very aggressive wanting the ball, finding different ways to get the ball, and he did a great job discipline of on defense of not fouling away from the basket, which is really hard because he moves so well and he has great feet, but he also has gotten himself stuck in some positions of getting some bad fouls. And you see that he cares, and I think he drew 9 fouls in the game. That means he's working hard and doing it the right way, and he's only getting better and better. We need him out there. We're a better team when he's out on the court. Thanks, guys.
DeMarco and Zach.